Right guys, it is for me just after the video announcing that in general I'm going to change up the style of my videos a little bit, but the home tour has probably come out since then. But for me, this is where I'm choosing to start these very minimalist vlogs. So this is going to give you an idea of what they might be like in the future. So first things first in this video is, whilst I was away traveling, I learned that I can't stand taking too much tech with me. So I have been obliterating what tech I actually want to keep, what I want to use, and we're going to go through it all for this first segment of the video. We're not going to make it all one video, and show you all how I'm going to organise it going forward, because when we were travelling around Italy, getting on and off the trains, I really wished that I just had my one backpack. My over-the-shoulder bag that had all the tech in it started to just become a nuisance. It was so annoying, especially in a really crowded environment. And in the end, both me and my partner Johnny decided that the other Sony camera just wasn't the type of camera that was good for while you were vlogging on the move. It would only be good for sort of this scenario, sitting and talking, which meant I didn't need this huge other tripod. So quickly, long story short, the tripod's already gone. I've already sold it. You all might remember this tech bag. I've sold that on Vinted. They've both gone. I have listed my Sony camera. It hasn't gone yet, but that is definitely the intention. So we are left with just my good old phone and my DJI camera. And then of course we do have a few wires and things for being able to edit and stuff on the move. But currently I put it all in this box because I sold the tech bag. I just realised I don't need that huge tech bag anyway if I kept deciding to get bits out and put it in this over shoulder bag. So let me show you what we're doing instead. I am going to put this down here just so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, also guys, Zala's just choking on a treat, but we got her this little pig in Rome. Johnny got her it. It's bright pink. And she's already pulled its eyes off, but we were watching her with it and we've obviously confiscated the eyes, and now she just likes playing with it. Let me go get the very smaller, more minimal bag. So because to keep, when we travel, the price of it all affordable so that we can go on more and more trips, we are actually quite frugal when we travel. So we don't want to check luggage anyway, partly because of the money, but also because we don't want a huge bag. And even if you take 2 bags on Ryanair, sorry guys, the bin men are outside, you can probably hear them in the background. But when we travel, we decided that the 2 bags we don't even want, because you even have to pay for the second bag on Ryanair. And I decided in terms of the tech, it would be much easier if I could fit it all in here, which is also padded, and then that went inside the top of my backpack so that I don't have to be lugging around these 2 bags. These are my tiny DJI microphones that can go with my phone or with this camera. This is a light for if I am occasionally in very dark situations, and the thing that holds it. It's all these little gadgets that do in general take up the space, but we are going to attempt to fit them in. They might not fit in there. Right, let's see if the camera will actually go in, because the camera is the main thing that we're trying to protect. Will it go that way? Right. So there is, by the looks of it, just enough space for my camera and my microphones. They are the main thing that is breakable. Extra padding on the top This is waterproof. That pulls tight. And then I probably just have to accept that I need that as well as a wire pouch. I don't necessarily need to take them on every trip. So I could actually, before every trip, go through them and just decide which little wire I need for that trip. For instance, if I need this, they could then just go in the little pouch. But that's all I want to take from now on, and it's just a little bit bigger than my hand. And I did explain before that it just became too problematic with the bigger camera in a very crowded area. Getting it out, even because there's people all around you, I couldn't even hold it at the full distance I needed it to be. There wasn't that much space in some of the places we went to, for instance, like Capri. It was too difficult, and I found myself, so this is my phone, getting my phone out and like getting it out up my body with my backpack on, and just having to even have it like parallel with my own body and filming like that. That's how hectic it was while we were traveling. So in that moment, I knew that I needed to carry minimalism on even into my travel life, and that was to make it less stressful. I didn't want the stress of dealing with a huge camera in a busy environment, and that included carrying it, as in all the tech, and how I use it. Right, I'm going to put all this away now. What's left in here are just the wires that we've worked out. I'll just have to pick and choose what I take when I go. It's a little bit later in the day, and I thought I would show you a few other things that are going on. I'm just about to head out because I actually need something, but I'm going to tell you all why. And this is what I was talking about in the terms of, in any minimalist life, there are several decisions that happen every day, which we might call minimalist decisions. And perhaps that's why we try to begin our minimalist journey by decluttering, so we don't have decision fatigue, because in general, there are lots of other decisions to be made every day in life. So let me tell you the first thing. So I am reusing this carrier bag of my partner's to take some things to the charity shop. Some cushions that we were previously using when the bed was on the floor. We now decided we don't need them because we've got the headboard built in. This is a new desk that you probably all saw in the home tour. When I say new, Amazon resale, so it's a slight second, and you know, that helps the environment a little bit. The shoe situation we'll discuss perhaps later in the vlog or in another vlog. I told you all about my feet problems in the last video. I think that basically, yeah, some new shoes caused me a lot of pain, so then I had to adapt what I did while we were away. But this was the thing I wanted to tell you all. So let's have a little wander into the kitchen. By the way, guys, this is what's been currently happening to block out the absolute scorching heat, because we don't have the blinds up. So that is not that's not a permanent thing. It's just a solution while we get through this bad heat wave. So up here I have this one pot that I've been living with, and that is just a box now that we keep all our recycling bags in. But I have this one pot or pan, don't mind my painting hands, I've just been painting things in the bathroom, that I've been living with to cook everything. And let's just say, I'm taking you all back through here for a second while I talk to you all. Let's just say, it was good for a while, but I fancy making just a few things easy, quick and simple. So I might go get one stainless steel pan at some point this week, maybe even later today. Even I don't know yet. But when I go, I will take you all with me, and we want to pick some kind of hard-wearing stainless steel pan that we are going to keep for 10 years. I'm not going to go with any of these. I think they're like aluminium coated with ceramic. Now, although they are eco-friendly, they are not very hard wearing. They sort of need replacing about every 3 years, because I think slowly the ceramic that is non-toxic, it's only thin and slowly it wears off. So we are going to go for stainless steel and put that little bit of extra effort in to look after them a bit better. We're feeding the pigeons. I've decided to go out after all. I've got my very low-tech mini tripod to take out with me. This is easier in a busy environment. It means I can just put it away in my pocket in between. Quickly, let me show you something that's happened. So these Birkenstocks that are very old and past it, that I told you all were too slippy to wear, after my feet were absolutely ripped apart on holiday, these were in the pile to be given away finally, as in given away to the recycle bin, because I thought they were not safe for anybody. But because the upper part fits me so well, I've actually ordered something online, like a rubber cut-out grip to go on the bottom. That's not like a proper new sole, but it will stop the problem that's happening of it being too slippy. So that's what I'm going to do with them. I'm actually going to keep them, try and get a bit more wear out of them, and at least this rubber stick-on bottom thing will stop me slipping around, which was the main reason I was getting rid of them, because I thought they were like too dangerous to actually wear because they were so slippy. So hopefully this will fix my problem for a while, because the other Birkenstocks that I tried that were new, I tried them in the new kind of PVA material that's not cork. They are not the same, or at least they weren't for me for some reason, even though I ordered them in the exact same size. The 3.5 just really rubbed all my feet where the buckles went across and my little toe. I had blisters like I'd never had before, so that I know that I can't have that style. Maybe when I'm brave enough again and my feet have recovered, I will try and get some new version of this in the cork, but for now I'm just getting even a little bit more wear out of these. So I'm going to head out. We're going to try and find a stainless steel pan in TK Maxx, which is just about, and it's TJ Maxx for some of you watching in America, are going to try and find a not too expensive stainless steel pan. Let's go. Little upgrade, we have upgraded our black tote to a Patagonia black tote, because I like the fact that the shoulder straps fold away in there when you just want to have it as an over shoulder bag. But if it's a bit heavy and you've got it full of groceries on the way back, you can use the shoulder straps. Johnny and I have been sharing this when any one of us nips to the local shops. So let's head out and hopefully find a pan. Guys, I feel so bad when I come out, because since we got Zala, she basically, I don't really leave her, but I know that now is a really important time to start leaving her. The longest now, which I built up to, we leave her, is an hour and a half while I run errands and things in town. But we're hoping to slowly build that to sort of a maximum of maybe 4 or 5 hours sometimes, so that, for instance, when one day we get our van and we are travelling, if we occasionally stay in things like Airbnbs to have sort of a shower break, things like that, in very hot countries where it might be too hot in the van as well, we want to be able to leave Zala inside where it's cool for her, and we can go out and do things that perhaps she wouldn't be able to do coming with us, and therefore she needs to be able to be left. So it's being cruel to be kind. Right, let's get to TK Maxx. A fun fact for you all, this Dickens bar is where he wrote the Pickwick Papers, which was basically the first thing he ever wrote, and it was also the first usage of the word bindle, as in bindle bag. And it comes from the idea that bindle is cordage, but also the gathering up of your belongings in a small little pouch. on a stick, and that is the first recorded usage of the word, even if people were doing it before that. He also used that famous image on the front of the first Oliver Twist edition. And just up the top of our main, shall we call it, high street, is where he used to give readings for Scrooged. And I shouldn't say Scrooged, I should say A Christmas Carol. I'm always thinking of the Bill Murray version. But yeah, this black shop at the top used to be like a reading room and book emporium, shall we say, back in the 1800s and early 1900s. And he would give readings of A Christmas Carol, because most of the characters in A Christmas Carol are based on characters from this area, such as Ebenezer Scrooge. Maybe that's perhaps why Yorkshire people get such a reputation for being extremely frugal. And it is this black building right here, which sadly used to be a Pizza Hut, but it's currently abandoned. What a shame. Hopefully they will do something nice with it, but you can see all the original carvings and things. If I just move back so you can see a little bit better, you can perhaps see how beautiful it once used to be. And in this town, they also sometimes used to put blue discs and plaques on the buildings to kind of tell you the information about it. But I think sadly somebody has ripped it off. But you'll see that in other areas of the town. Such as on the outside of Marks and Spencer's, there is a blue plaque commemorating that this was once the site of the house that Harland was built. Sorry, that Harland was born in and lived in. For anybody who doesn't know, Harland is the famous shipbuilders of the Titanic. Harland and Wolff Yard is in Belfast, but Harland himself, Sir Edward Harland, was born here. Right, I just wanted to bring you and show you all that. I do a lot of my grocery shopping in Marks and Spencer's because I've mentioned before it's quite, shall we say, eco-friendly. Let's go back up into where TK Maxx is, which is one of our only other shops, because all these shops that you're looking at are in general outdoor shops, opticians, or stuff geared towards tourists. Although I do particularly like the Holland and Barrett. That is just about all there is that's of any use locally. Some big old Tudor buildings there. Right, then we have some more Tudor buildings. The Tudor buildings are practically everywhere. But let's go inside here. Some days I do actually bring Zala in here, because dogs are allowed in UK TK Maxx's. I found out they're allowed in TK Maxx's here. So we are hunting for the stainless steel pans, not to get distracted by all the Korean food. Let's have a look. It's very bright in here. So we've got one for £20. Is that big enough? And do I want one with a lid? That's the question, because I don't like how things splatter everywhere. Let's have a look at some of the ones with lids. Although I bet they're a lot more money. We've got £30. Oh, what's that inside it? Oh, I'm not sure I like that coating on there. Let's have a look for a bit. The problem I have is I need it to be small enough that it will fit in our cupboard, but unfortunately they're all very, very large. So let me have a think for a second. Guys, the pan is too big to fit in my bag, so I'm just carrying it. But I thought I would show you all that this street is my favourite street where I live. This is what it used to look like back in 1845. And it is called a bar, as in Bar Street. Not because it is filled with bars, but because this particular thing, like an archway building coming over the street, is what used to be called a bar. And there are lots of them in old cities and towns throughout England, particularly York, which is our nearest city. This is just classed as a town, but I particularly like this street because all the buildings with all the old mullioned windows are very, very Darwin-esque. You can definitely see where he got his inspiration from. And it was at once a very, very literary, important town. Obviously, the Bronte sisters used to come here a lot. Anne Bronte is buried in our local church, and this is Bronte country. Anyway, a little tour over with. I've got my stainless steel pan. Let's head back home. Although before I end, I will show you all this sort of lovely little cafe that I walk past every day. There are quite a couple of nice little cafes that maybe at some point I will take you all to, but this vlog is getting a little bit long. So let's get back home.